Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey, and I hope you're well tonight. I'm glad you're enjoying me on episode 120. To be honest, I have no fucking idea what episode it is. I just decided to start numbering them occasionally when I can't think of a good title, and there's that. I was going to title this "The Electoral College" and yesterday, because there was some brouhaha that I was involved in over the whole electoral college. A brouhaha. That's classic French, I believe. The funny part is I wasn't even actually much a part of this. I want to set up the situation. Let's just throw it out there. This is what happened. And I'm going to share this on the screen real fast. I'm getting ready to go to bed. As you know, I sleep very odd hours. And I finished my stream last night, and then I streamed a bear for a little bit, and then I played video games for just a little while and went to sleep. But right before I went to sleep, I did what I always do before I go to sleep. I jumped onto Twitter because that's what I like to do. And I see this tweet from Sofane. It says, "Happy to see the Electoral College trending and taking another shot across its bow. There simply isn't a mathematical or democratic reason to support it anymore. One person deserves one equal vote no matter what state you live in." We'll get into the meat of that in a little while. But so this was his tweet, and here's my reply. I said, "I'm so tired of this shit. The system has been in place for very good reason for 200 plus years." And then I put a little sarcastic quote there. Oops. It says, "But Monkey, I don't like who won, so the system is flawed." And this is back to me. "Blow me, we are not, nor should we be, a one-man, one-vote direct democracy. We are a representative republic," which, by the way, is all true. Now, this is where Twitter bears some blame. My schedule bears some blame. Sofane is upset with me. I saw a video or a tweet, not a tweet, sorry. I saw a stream that he did with Pat earlier. They were streaming Destiny, but they took about an hour beforehand to talk about the Electoral College. And I came up in there, and he thinks my response was out of proportion to what he said. And he really thinks that the "blow me" part was a little over the top, a little reactionary, if you will. And that's fine. You can think that. It wasn't me being mean. It was me being me. And apparently some people said that it's just Monkey being Monkey. You guys don't have to defend me when if they don't know who I am and how I react, just let them find out. That's fine. But there's never a reason to explain me. I can do that myself. But what happened was when I woke up, I couldn't go see any of this. I couldn't go address anything that had been said because my Twitter would only load like the first 3 or 4 tweets on the homepage. And it wouldn't load beyond there. And it was like that until about an hour ago. So I couldn't say shit. I couldn't interact. I couldn't do anything. It would occasionally let me get a tweet out there. But for the most part, it wouldn't let me do shit. And I was upset by that. I was a little bit grumpier on Lords of the Night than I normally am because I didn't have my Twitter fix. But because of that, it made it very hard to communicate anything that I'm telling you now. I'm not mad at Fane. I don't care if he hates the Electoral College, but I do want to address some of the things that he said on his show regarding this. First of all, if you think I was if you think I was too harsh, suck it up. Suck it up. I didn't say anything. I have said worse than that to people I'm friendly with live. And for the record, the last part of that, the quote there and the "blow me" part, those aren't necessarily directed at Sofane. I started this with, "I'm so tired of this shit." It's the first time I've ever responded to Fane on that. So if you took this entirely personally, that's you internalizing it. This was a more general statement, and should I have made that a little more known? Maybe, but I thought the "I'm so tired of this shit" really put that out there. But I took some notes when I read when I watched his thing, and I want to comment on some of them because, whoo boy, man, this got out of hand today. Apparently, the Twitter blew up. Fane got retweeted by H Bomberman. If you don't know who H Bomberman is, wow, he's what the SJWs think are funny. He's their comedian. He's their resident comedian. Man, but he does have a following. And yeah, he retweeted Fane at one point, and yeah, apparently this blew up big. And we need to talk about the Electoral College because people don't seem to understand what it's for. He, in Fane's original tweet, that no mathematical or democratic reason. First of all, it's not about democracy. It's not. It's never been about democracy. And if you think it is, then you need to study your goddamn history. We are not a one man, one vote democracy. Not when it comes to our presidential elections. We've never been that way. We were never supposed to be that way. And we never should be that way. We are a collection of states, each state being its own sovereign being, its own sovereign nation, for lack of a better word, its own sovereign government, that we come together for very specific things that are listed in the Constitution. And yes, don't get me started about how that's been raped over and over the years and just absolutely destroyed the whole meaning of states' rights. Believe it or not, you can believe in states' rights, and it doesn't have to be about racism or slavery, which oddly enough came up several times in that stream today of Sofane's. I believe that people in California don't know what the fuck it's like to be people in Georgia. They have different values, they have different wants, and like the founders, I believe in representation. I believe that your local government should have more to do with your life than some jackass sitting in Washington deciding, some jackass from California sitting in Washington deciding what's best for Georgia or Louisiana. Anyhow, one of the first things that Fane did in this is tell us you shouldn't have to go back to the Federalist Papers to defend the notion of the Electoral College. Well, you don't. You just have to go to the Constitution because that's where it's written. But yes, we point to the Electoral or to the Federalist Papers because that's where it's explained. That's where it's explained to people. If you're wondering why the hell it happened, it's laid out in pretty plain English. It's not even like Shakespearean English where you have to go, what did he mean here? It's fucking basically modern day English, for fuck's sake. Hey Jack, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm animated tonight. Have you followed any of this? Have you heard of any of this, or is this all new to you?
I just literally saw the link and jumped in. I don't even know what we're talking about.
Sofane got mad at me over a tweet today.
I saw that he was angry about something, but he gets angry at a lot of things.
He wasn't angry when he started. He made a tweet saying that he was happy to see the Electoral College was trending. And I'm going to repeat that several times. I'm happy to see the Electoral College trending. Keep that in mind, because that is important. That is important as we go on. So if you're just going to look at the Federalist Papers, if you're going to look at the Constitution itself, and your argument is it's outdated, then I'm going to tell you that you should probably shut the fuck up, because that's where your First Amendment right comes from. That outdated document.
Yep.
It's actually the First Amendment. You should look up.
It is rather essential to a free society.
Indeed. But yeah, so anytime people pull that, the Constitution is outdated, there are parts of it that are, and they get changed. Slavery, for instance, right out. We've changed the document several times over the years. What do we have? 25?
Yeah, something like that.
25 different amendments. And if you guys really want to push this and you want to do it, change the Constitution. I'm going to argue the whole way. And when it all turns to the shitty shithole we know it's going to be, and you're all wondering why you're living under the rule of California and New York, I'd be like, told you so. Anyway.
Yep. No, that's literally how it'll be. They have to go to maybe 5 states and then they win.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a group of states that have decided that no matter what their constituents vote for, these include Delaware, Colorado, California, New York. I forget who else. But no matter who their state votes for, they are going to give all of their delegates or all of their electoral college votes to the winner of the popular vote.
Oh, so all your votes don't matter in those states because there's no influence whatsoever.
Indeed. The great part of that is if Donald Trump wins the 2020 election by popular vote, California will be voting for Donald Trump.
That would be hilarious.
That would be awesome. That would be fucking great. It would make my day, actually. That headline would be amazing. California goes for Trump.
Oh, man. Can you imagine Chunk Uyghur's head exploding?
Yeah. Here's the thing. There are 11 states that have signed on to this thing. Only one of them is not solid blue, which we'll get into that a little bit too. All but one of them is solid blue. Thank you, Terry Diamandis. The Electoral College should be abolished unless having it would help the Dems. Then you should bring it back. It's only fair.
Yeah, that's
exactly
kind of the impression I get with these things.
Well, that's what's going to happen with this stupid thing they're doing. We're going to give our votes to the popular vote winner. Okay. But when Donald Trump wins, I bet that shit backs right off. I bet you're only going to do that. I'm getting ahead of myself. I already said I'm not apologizing for the blow me line. If you took it too personal, that's on you. I'm sure I've said worse to that. I've said fuck you to you, Jack.
Yeah, I don't care.
I mean, anyhow, not going to. Oh, okay, we'll get into that stuff. Anyway, I want to point out here, in Fain's thing, he says that he was not talking about this because of Elizabeth Warren, and he wasn't talking about it because of Hillary Clinton losing. A couple of things. First of all, you might not be talking about it because of Hillary Clinton losing. The reason Elizabeth Warren is, and the reason that these states have decided to throw away their votes based on the popular election is absolutely because Hillary Clinton lost. He says he's been beating this drum since he's been watching politics. And okay, I have no reason to doubt that. None at all. But I want to remind you what he said. Happy to see the Electoral College trending. Thank you, Connor Johnson. Today is the spring equinox. Cool. I could use some spring fucking weather. It's supposed to snow tomorrow.
Yeah, fucking winter.
So, Fain, you might not have been talking about it because of Hillary Clinton, but the only reason it's a popular subject and the only reason it was trending was because of Elizabeth Warren. So when you say you're happy it was trending, yeah, you're pretty much saying that you're happy Elizabeth Warren was talking about it. But he got offended at the notion that he was talking about it because of Elizabeth Warren. And he goes, no, it's because Delaware just signed on to this thing. It wasn't trending because of Delaware. It was trending because of Warren mentioning it in his speech the other day on Monday night. That's why it was trending. So you might have your reasons, but when you tell me that you're tweeting about it because it's trending, we have to look at why it's trending. And the only reason anybody gives a fuck about it is because of Clinton. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jack.
No, the inference is pretty obvious. If you say I'm glad it's trending, well, then it's safe to assume you're glad because of this reason. The reason it's trending, not some other reason. It's just, 1 + 1 usually equals 2.
Yeah, he didn't say I'm glad it's a topic of discussion, which would have included that stupid ass I forget what it's called, declaration where they voted to spend their votes this way. So I don't know how legally binding it is. I hope it's legally binding and that Trump wins the
that'd be so funny.
That would be awesome. California losing all of its votes to Trump.
Oh, you
Anyhow,
know they'll take that to court the second that happens.
these the notes are all over the place because I took them in the way that he had his conversation. So I would much rather do this in a more formalized way, but I'm doing the notes as I have them. The next one that popped up that he says that if it went to a one man, one vote system, the politicians would not avoid rural areas.
Yeah, they would. What'd be the point? You just had to go to New
Exactly.
York City, Chicago, and LA.
Well, he points out, look, not everybody in California voted for Republicans. So if it was one man, one vote, there would be some Republican votes there. Sure. But what happens if we take California completely out of the election of 2016? Trump wins a popular vote. California changed that. So you can't act like they couldn't just court the really large states. And you know what else happened? And this is the point. This is the fucking point. Hillary Clinton decided not to pay attention to several small swing states, places like Michigan.
Yeah,
and
Michigan,
her doing it.
Michigan, Ohio, Florida, she ignored all those.
And in doing so, got her ass kicked in the Electoral College.
Yep.
Now, without the Electoral College, that wouldn't have mattered. She would have still won, even though she's like, fuck those people. Literally, fuck those people. She would have still won. And you're telling me, oh no, that they wouldn't do that. It fucking happened the last election. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Anyhow, the next part that came up, they talked about centrists. This is the part I'm going to get a little probably in trouble
on. What?
Pat mentioned that he's a conservative, and he calls himself a conservative, and that's fine. And Fain said to him, look, I'm glad you don't hide behind the fact that you're pro-choice and pro-gay marriage to call yourself a centrist. I'm not real sure what Pat's political views are. But those two are pretty big ones when it comes to conservative versus liberal social values, especially the pro-choice thing. In my opinion, if you aren't solidly in one corner where you're always arguing with one side, then yeah, centrist is probably the argument or the place you belong. And there's this idea that you can't call yourself a centrist if you defend one side. Here's the thing. I don't have to point out when Republicans do something stupid. It's all over the news.
Yeah.
Literally to the point of the president having 2 scoops of fucking ice cream. Literally to that point.
Yeah, that's so weird still.
The reason that I tend to spend most of my time mocking and laughing at liberals is because nobody does it in the mainstream media. Nobody.
Oh, you can't do that, monkey. That's forbidden.
Oh, I know. How dare I? How dare I try to be a voice of reason instead of just sucking on the dick of one side or the other? I'm not a Republican. I voted Republican once in my life. I voted Democrat once in my life. And since then, I never voted for either side. Not once for either side. I guess that makes me a fake centrist hiding behind my beliefs that if you don't vote for one side or the other, then you're probably not one side or the other. And
no, you got to remember your animated avatar.
Look,
that too.
One of the things I am most proud of with what I do here is the number of people who, even if they disagree with me on politics, still say I'm fair. Because my politics are not based on left or right. My politics are based on what is logical to me. Period.
Yeah.
I don't care what side it is.
That's how most people operate. There's really not that many people that are so entrenched in their beliefs that they won't change them. at some point. You know, except for really old people.
Well, yeah, but we do have a problem in this country with, and you can watch it anytime a issue changes. Like just the other day, I saw Ed Krasenstein, of all fucking people, wondering why they're trying to get rid of paper trails in voting in Texas, I think it is. And we should always have a paper trail. I'm like, that same argument 10 years ago was the other side.
Yeah.
Krasenstein would be like, we don't need paper trails. And not saying he did that. I'm saying he would have been, because he's a partisan hack.
Yeah.
You can see that with some of these people when the positions change, and they do change. And that's when that's when you can really tell your partisans, is because they're the ones who make hypocrites of themselves constantly.
Oh yeah. They more bend with the breeze than anything else.
Yes. Yep. The same people who voted for, here's a great example. You have people in Congress who voted for walls on part of the border who are now saying walls are racist. And that is a factual thing that's happened. Oh, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, these two people, we can't have this racist wall. Oh, how much wall makes it racist? Because you didn't mind it before. You didn't mind it. Here's the thing, real quick. I want to touch on this. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Their contention is, we put the walls where they were most needed, so that was where you most kept out Mexicans. But that's not the racist wall. What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, that should be the most racist wall if that was keeping the most Mexicans out, right?
I would think so.
But anyway, the point being, yes, they people flip flop. Those are your partisans. They do it based on political expediency. You're fair. How unfair of you to say that, but fair enough. No, you can. I mean, it is amazing how many people say, and I'm shocked that they do. But I try to be fair. No matter what nonsense comes up. Yes, my values, not the values of Republicans or Democrats or leftists or rightists. It's my values that matter to me. That's why you will always see me stand up for free speech. You will always see me. Hypocrisy annoys the fuck out of me, no matter who it's coming from. But yeah, there's no fun in taking the piss out of Republicans, because that's done on nightly news every fucking night. Every night. What, I'm gonna add my voice to to what? Colbert. I'm good. And let's see, there were two more things. Some people. I didn't think my tweet was that rude, but apparently some people are telling Fane, he was, and him and Fane and Pat actually talked about this themselves, that I was probably already ranting and I was probably already in a mood. I wasn't in a fucking mood. I just played a video game and I was ready to go to sleep, and I saw something stupid. So I responded how I do when I see something stupid. That wasn't upset. I didn't even say fuck in that, I don't think. All I said was blow me. And finally, the out of proportion response thing. I don't think it was out of proportion. It was me making fun of the people who say this. And like I said, Fane, this wasn't just directed at you. That's why I said I'm so tired of this. I didn't say it. It's the first time I've ever seen you say it, so I can't be tired of you saying it, for fuck's sake. There's tons of people who do it. And the most, excuse me, tripping over my words here. The most abundant time this has happened was right after Al Gore lost, and then again right after Hillary Clinton lost. And nobody was talking about we need to get rid of the Electoral College after Obama won. They just weren't. It's the same fucking system. Now, Fane says he was, and I'll take his word for it. I never saw it, but I never saw anybody complaining about the Electoral College for 8 years under Obama.
Yeah, I agree. They complain when it's convenient, and that is incredibly frustrating. But I think he's probably taking it a little personally.
Oh, he took it my comment personally, and I'm sorry he did. because it wasn't meant that way. I've said this many times. I like fame. I do. But I'm not gonna hold my tongue. I'm usually meaner to my friends than I am to people I don't know. And I talk with a lot of Democrats and or liberals, however they want to, leftists on Twitter and stuff, and we have arguments. And at the end, I always try to remind, look, I'm not mad at you. I still think I'm still friendly with you. I just think you're wrong on this shit. I think you're full of shit on this. And I think we need more of that. I think we need to be able to talk to people we disagree with, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends that are liberals, and they get all bent out of shape with me on stuff when we have a debate, but they've come to realize over time that I really don't care about the fact that they have differing opinions.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't get along with people that have different ideas with you, you're going to be a very miserable person.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody out there that's going to be 100% in your alley on it. And you just can't go through life that way. It's not healthy.
I don't want to only hear my opinion repeated back to me.
Yeah, that's
you know
how cults work.
Yeah, it is. Plus, you're going to find, one, better ways to argue, and two, holes in your own argument, arguing against people rather than just having people tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah, and you need to know if your ideas are awful, horrible things.
Mm-hmm. And when people agree with you, they're not going to tell you that.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so that happened today. And like I said, I missed most of it. I was asleep. Fane kind of made it sound like I must have been mad and just turned off the internet and walked away. Like, no, motherfucker, I was tired. That's like when I normally go to sleep. I wait for Lady Monkey to get up and then I go to bed. Because I don't want to wake her up. I don't know what else to tell you. If you took it personally, it wasn't meant so. The end. Robert says, "Yo, Monkey, I'm all jacked on pain pills after my surgery." Oh, dude, what'd you have surgery for? And I hope you're well. I hope it went well. I'm assuming it is, that they're not letting you play with the internet when you're still not okay. I feel like
if I see a dude stoned, I'm handing him a phone. Here, tweet, motherfucker.
If you're still on, like, they got you on heroin. Whoops, I'm sorry. What is it they call it when they give it to you in the hospital?
Opioids.
Yeah.
Some methadone.
Not methadone. What is it when they give it to you and they have it in a little IV and you can push the button? Shit, I don't remember. It's basically heroin, though.
It's like morphine.
Morphine, that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I feel like if you're on morphine, they should not let you have anything that allows you to get onto the internet.
You would think that, but I still stand by it's hilarious. So
it is, but it's also, I mean, it's not fair. It's not fair to the person on morphine.
Oh, he had surgery for a cyst in his left cheek, not face
ouch.
cheek, not the face cheek.
Still.
So you're laying on your stomach, eh? You don't have a morphine button? Oh, you got screwed.
Well, it depends on how bad they think the pain is going to be. I had a morphine button after my first surgery. I used it once, and that was I woke up in so much pain. I clicked it. It put me back to sleep, and that was the last time I used it.
I had one when I passed my last kidney stone, and I hit it so often that they came in and took it away.
My friend, who he's got Crohn's and gets kidney stones all the time. When he first went in, they found out he had Crohn's. They actually cut him open. They thought his appendix had burst, and just his insides were not good. Ooh. They were so bad that they left him open to get the infection cleared out for like 6 days. And yeah, they took his morphine button away. And in fairness, I am fairly certain he was using it just to get high. I'm sure it hurt. I'm not saying it didn't, but.
Well, I found out they only dispense every so often anyway, so you can hit that thing all day. It's not going to do a damn thing.
Right, yeah. Depends. Well, the newer ones do that. Did the older ones? Like,
I don't think the older ones did it, which is probably why they put that in there.
Yeah, you got people ODing on
Yeah,
morphine right there in the hospital.
I turned into a serial killer on pain meds because I do not see other people's people,
Oh, nice.
and it's really terrifying. So I don't like being on that stuff, but it gives you this like surreal, like everybody's fake feeling, and that is a very terrifying thing.
Um, I don't even know how we got here. We were talking about something, then we got sidetracked by morphine. I'm not a fan of opioids in general, by the way.
Not either. They work wonders when they're used right, but it's
Well,
very easy to get hooked.
after my first surgery, they gave me. God, what was Dr. House hooking? God, why can't I remember any of this shit? It's probably all the drugs I did then. Uh, Dr. House, he took these
Vicodin?
Vicodin. Thank you. Yeah, they gave me a giant bottle of Vicodin, just fucking huge. I took like 6 of them, and I'd only take them when I was having trouble sleeping, because I realized right away that as soon as I'd take them, I was gone, man. Not
Yeah.
like a zombie. No, I was out, fucking out. And there was one time I had to take one and stay awake, and it was like the longest day of my life. I had to go have some test done afterwards, and I wasn't allowed to sleep. But they wanted me to take the Vicodin. Why did they want me to take the Vicodin? Oh, because they knew it was going to hurt me. So, and I was already in pain. So, like, this is going to hurt you. Take a Vicodin. Do not go to sleep. I'm like, okay. I don't know how I'm going to do that. So the whole way to the doctor, which was actually, this was a hospital like 60 miles from us, Lady Monkey kept yelling at me, wake up, Frank, wake up. Like, okay, I'm awake. But I don't understand how people like that.
I don't either. It's usually because it's a numbing thing and they don't feel. So it kind of shuts your brain off. So if you have like a lot of emotional stressors, it disconnects you from that. I don't like being like that. I don't like being out of control of my faculties.
Thank you.
So
Yes.
that it bothers me a lot. I'm a little bit of a control freak on that front. I don't drink. I don't do recreational drugs because I don't like the way any of it affects me, and I don't like the way that I act when I'm on those. So I'm boring at parties.
I bet. Dante, thank you. Fuck opioids, smoke weed. I work in a dispensary in Colorado. Trust me, cannabis is much safer. It depends on what else you're taking and what else is going on with you. There are times where smoking weed can cause more pain. I mean, one of the things that cannabis can do for people is they feel more of what's going on with their body. It can help you with pain, but don't just blindly listen to people who say, "Oh, take dope; it'll make you feel better." It depends. Everybody is different, guys.
I am actually allergic to THC.
Really,
Yep. Causes
I've
like an anaphylaxis response in me for some reason.
uh, I don't. It's been a long time since I've done it. I did it a few times as a teen, once as an adult, and Dirty Sanchez says weed doesn't help with pain. It gets you so high you're happy. That's it. Well, that's what Xanax does for me. That's the only thing that's done that for me. People are always you take this, you'll still be in pain, but you won't care. Like I've always cared. Xanax, on the other hand, oh my gosh, Xanax I could become addicted to because it's this feeling of I don't give a fuck about nothing. I have a horrible fear of tight spaces. I am claustrophobic like a motherfucker. And to the point when I had my first surgery, they tried giving me having me do MRIs. I think it was 3 times, and all of them like, no, I can't do it. Could not do it. And so when this happened, and they're like, you have to have an MRI. I'm like, you can't put me in there. He goes, okay, we're gonna give you a prescription, take it and go. I'm like, all right. So they had me pop this Xanax 15 minutes before I go in. I went in there and I laid down. I put on little headphones and I'm laying still. They give you a little button to hit in case you do freak out in there. I'm like, no, man, I'm good. And he goes, Mr. So-and-so, Mr. Monkey, you're done. I'm like, oh, I didn't know we started.
Cool, man. Cool.
Bring me out, man. Sweet. My wife's here to drive me home now. Yeah, I didn't give a fuck, man. Not even a little bit.
Well, that's good. I had 4 MRIs and like 13 chest scans in a 6-month period. I had so many they made me wait a while. And it was you get used to being in the donut, that's for sure.
There came a time through all of this where this last time I think I had a total of 10 or 12 MRIs. And I was high for every one of them, guys. One of them I'd actually taken 2 Xanax because they gave me 3 and like, take this one. If for some reason it goes more than half an hour, take another one. And it did. And I don't think the first one had worn off yet because walking to the MRI machine, whew, that was a little tricky. But I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, there comes this one point. They're like, you need another MRI. They're not going to be able to get you in for like 3 months. I'm like, oh. And the phone rings on a Saturday morning. They're like, Mr. Monkey, if you come down here right now, we have an opening. We can get you in and get this test done for you today. I'm like, okay, but they didn't give me any pills. But I went down there, and the fact by this point, I've already had 6 or 7 of them. My brain was at least okay enough to go, we'll be fine in here. I didn't like it. I hated it the whole time, but I didn't freak out. So,
well, that's good.
So you're right. You get a little used to it, which, man, tight spaces. You ever watch the tunnel crawlers documentaries about the guys in Vietnam?
Yeah, I could never do that.
Tunnel rats. Oh, hell no. I can't even watch those things.
Yeah, I'm not that big on claustrophobia myself, but I can't watch that shit either. That's a little too confined. Those guys are brave.
What is this? Patreon are splitting into tiers and making their service worse in almost every way. What? Patreon Lite. This plan is for future creators who want a simple option to launch a membership without tiers and benefits that they can set up and get running in minutes. Patreon Pro. This plan includes everything Patreon creators have today, plus some new perks. And Patreon Premium. This plan is for established creative businesses. Are the creators going to have to pay for these?
Probably. A lot of the services like Ko-Fi, you can upgrade to gold and things like that. They want you to pay for more expansive things. So it would surprise me. Patreon probably needs the money.
Oh, sure. That's why they were doing that thing before where they were going to take an even bigger percentage. So here's how it breaks down. With Lite, 5% of what you earn goes to Patreon plus payment processing. With the Pro level, 8%. And excuse me there. I think there's a discount going on right now. It's 8%, but it'll only be 5% for the Pro for right now.
Ooh.
And then for the Premium, it's 12%, but it's on sale for only 9% right now with a $300 monthly minimum fee.
What?
Fuck. Volume discounts available. Wow.
How many people are making that much money where it's actually a feasible thing to pay that kind of price?
I don't know. Veteran Moon says, watch Sargon's video on it. The person who I just saw this from, Massive Dynamics, he tweeted out Lord Scrumpington, who said, I knew it. I fucking knew it. Patreon is splitting. Sargon has the last laugh after all. Yeah, I mean, is what it is.
Yeah, I think that whole Sargon incident hurt them a lot more than they're going to admit to.
Well, they were having problems before that. And according to them, they actually have more users now than, or at least they're taking in more money than when Sargon was there. it's on our side of the block. Yeah, Sargon's huge, but he's not that big compared to. You get another. I forget what he was making. What, 25K?
Yeah,
12K.
but I mean, like
12K a month is what it was.
Sam Harris folded up too
Sure.
because of that, and that was more of a hit, I think, than Sargon.
I don't think any of those hurt certainly, but I mean, this is a multi-million-dollar business.
Mm-hmm.
Losing, let's see, Sargon with 12,000 a month. What do they take?
5%.
5%, I think, is what it used to be. That's not much money, guys. It's really not. Not to a multi-million-dollar business. Yeah, it'll hurt, but the problem is they were already having issues.
Yeah, weren't they borrowing money and leveraging themselves kind of heavily?
I don't know if that was ever proven, but there was a big stink long before the Sargon thing where Patreon came out and said that they were going to be charging people who donated.
Yeah, I remember that.
So like if you wanted to donate $5 to me, you'd actually have to donate $6.50 to me, and they would take $1.50 from you. And they walked that back real quick because everybody's like, no.
Well, so, see, when they pull these stunts, the negative publicity hurts them more than the actual people that quit donating.
And they should have either stuck with that, or what they should have done is just raise the amount that they take from the creator. It'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But the way they did it, we're going to make the person paying pay. Like, no, don't do it that way.
That's a terrible idea. Whoever thought of that was an idiot.
But you have to remember the reason they were doing this because they were already in trouble.
Yeah.
Already in trouble. And they came out and explained that. The reason we're doing this is because payment processing is costing us so much. That's why in these new tiers they have, 2 of the tiers, you have to pay for payment processing. So, yeah.
Asinine.
Look, guys, if you want to donate to me, I'd prefer you do it through Streamlabs because 1, I get it instantly, and 2, they don't pull any of this shit. How can this only be episode 120? Steven, I have no idea what episode this is. I honestly don't. It is named episode 120. It doesn't mean it's episode 120. That's just the name I came up with today. They were paying anyway, says Faithless. Yeah, they were. Just the way they did it, though. What they actually did is if you wanted to donate $5, then they would put a charge on top of your $5, which is a shitty way to do it. I mean, it would be nicer for them to go, look, we charge the creators 10%. So if you want to give them $5, you might want to give them $5.50 so that they're actually getting close to $5. Instead, they try to like keep it a secret, all of these places, like how much they're taking from creators. Have you noticed that like if you read any article about YouTube Super Chat, everybody's like, we've been told they take this much, and we haven't exactly been able to figure out how much they take. They take 30%. I don't know why YouTube is like hiding that amount. Anybody who gets a super chat can tell you just with simple math, like, oh, they took 30%. That's what they take.
Yeah, you just have to track what people are donating.
Yeah,
it's not that hard.
But they want to. I don't know. I don't know why they do that. Just be upfront about it. It's called the old nickel and dime monkey. Yeah, I know. And that's why people were so mad about it. The creators, especially, they're like, don't hurt the fan. Hit me if that's what you're going to do. If you're going to take more than that if you need a bigger percentage, take it out of my side. Don't put a fucking fee on top of them fucking donating, you asswipes.
Yeah, it discourages people from donating, and you want them to donate, even if it costs a little more for you, because then you're still ahead of the game.
Yeah.
I don't think they understand.
Yeah, 50% is still more than 0. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think a lot of that comes from they're not on this side of creating. Most of the time they say they are, but really they're running a business. They don't know what people are expecting and what people are willing to do. It's poor market research, I guess is what I'm saying.
It was just it was dumb the way they did it. Not a lot of people do math. It's one of the reasons RPGs are so brain dead. No, I understand that, but if you're a news reporter and you're trying to figure out, well, how much does super chat? How much super chat goes to YouTube? Ask a YouTuber. We all know. It's been talked about since it started. They take 30%, and YouTube, they're like, we take less of this than we do of advertising money. Like, well, that's true, but you didn't have to go out and do any of this. You didn't. With advertisers, it's a little different. They go out and actually work for our advertisers. So them taking, what did they take 40% of that?
Like that. I don't know. I don't get any of that anymore.
Well, they actually have those numbers out there somewhere. It's just I don't make money off ads anyway, so I haven't looked in forever. YouTube makes a shit ton of money, but can't hire competent employees. The amount of that's not fair. They have a lot of competent employees. They have a lot of incompetent policies. A lot of the shit that if you go back, if you especially talking about censorship, if you go back and look at I don't know if it was an actual job application or if it was the training man. I think it was a training manual for when they did that big hire at the one time, and their actual wording was something like, use your own judgment when it comes to whether or not stuff is able to be kicked off the platform. I mean, and at this time you're talking about where if you get a strike for this stuff, you couldn't stream for 3 months.
Yeah, that'll end well.
And you're saying, oh, you who has entirely different values maybe than the person who made the video you're looking at, you use your own judgment. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, and how could that backfire?
Steven says YouTube is incompetent because they make no money. They're making money now, thanks to you, the viewers who donate. Super Chat put them in the black. Absolutely did. Because again, they make 30%, and it's a lot easier to count on fans of somebody donating to them than some jackass in a corporate boardroom. You know, uh-oh, PewDiePie said something that upset people again. Pull our ads. Yes, they are actually making money. Last year was the first year they finished in the red or in the black. And you're right. They were being propped up by Google, and that's because they had a really bad business model. Everybody, come put stuff on here, and we'll pay for it somehow. Yeah, not smart, but I'm glad it worked. I mean, I'm glad that Google was willing to take that loss. This YouTube CEO is an idiot. She is. But what are you going to do? I mean, Peppa Pig has been accused of racism, my friend.
Did she jump in a muddy puddle of color?
No, it's worse than that.
Oh no.
Peppa Pig has become the latest children's cartoon after Fireman Sam to be attacked for sexism for using the word fireman.
Oh, shut up. These fucking people, man. Do they have anything else to do with their time?
No, they really don't. They honestly have nothing better to do.
Oh, this is just getting sad, and it was always kind of pathetic, but now it's just sad.
Well, the funny thing about okay, I want to read the tweet that started it all, okay? This comes from the London Fire Brigade, a blue checkmarked account on Twitter. It says, come on, at Peppa Pig. We've not been firemen for 30 years. You have a huge influence on kids, and using outdated, stereotypical, gender-specific wording prevents young girls from becoming firefighters. Join hashtag firefighting sexism campaign.
Who's the asshole running this Twitter profile? Oh my
I'm
God.
not sure.
Fire them. They're idiots.
But I want to show you something. Okay.
Okay.
This is a picture from the episode. This is Daddy Pig. This is Mama Pig.
So she's part of the fire brigade, and it's still sexist.
It is still sexist, and using the word fireman is going to show girls they can't be firemen, even though there's a fireman who's a girl on the fucking TV.
Oh my God.
Seriously. Seriously. I hate this world.
It's just
But
sad. Like,
if you show women as firemen and you call them firemen, no girls are going to think they can do it.
totes for realsies.
It's just asinine. Oh man. Great to have another supporter in our firefighting sexism campaign. Welcome, Barbie. Yay! But don't call her a fireman. There we go. Yeah, these fucking people. Just fuck right off.
I would think they'd be more upset that there's a pig doing their job.
You know, you would think. But no. That's weird. That tweet seems to have changed.
Oh, it's like magic.
Oh, well, that's a response. Where's the original? There it is. There's the original. Sorry, I have to tweet.
Well, let us know what you think in the chat there, people. Let's see what you have to say about are pigs able to be firemen or firewomen? Would you bang a chick who looked like Barbie? Yeah, absolutely.
She had a vagina and was clean. Why not?
Dirty Sanchez says these blue checkmarked losers need to get laid. So true. Women are never good firemen. I would.
Well, they're not.
No, they're terrible.
We can get into that too. You can try to want women to be in firefighting all you want, and that's fine. That's fine. But a bitch better be able to do what a man can. I do not want to die burning in a fire because of your goddamn virtuistic nonsense. Women are just as strong as men. No, they're not.
They're not. Have you ever been dragged by a woman? They're really bad at it because they don't have upper body strength. Science is important. Now you get some big burly lesbian, fine, as long as she can carry my fat ass out of a burning building. Cool, but most women cannot do that.
Yep. And it's amazing that people don't think that far ahead. I wouldn't have a problem with it, with women being in all of these things, whether it be the military or firefighting, police officers, if they didn't change the standards so women could do it.
Yeah,
we're not talking about pull-ups in high school gym class. We're talking about saving people's lives. And you are more worried about hurting feeling. Literally, you would rather not hurt this woman's feeling than save that guy's life. Good job.
Yeah, that's what's so dangerous about it. They don't give a shit about people's safety. It's about virtue signaling. And I care more about my safety than virtue signaling.
Yep. I care more about everyone's safety than virtue signaling. I could not give a fuck about virtue signaling.
Because that doesn't get people to stay alive. That just lets them get killed.
Well, that's the... I've mentioned this before. There was a TV show I watched where they were talking about how great it was women were in the army. And they were talking specifically about carrying ammo. And for those of you who don't know, an ammo box is heavy, especially full.
Yeah.
And I said, where a man will just pick it up and move it, women work together because they can't pick it up by themselves. I'm like, that's great. What happens if she gets shot? And now that lady who can't carry it by herself is useless to the people who need that fucking ammo.
Yep.
You just got a bunch of people killed. Good job. MC Warmer, thank you so much. Or Whammer, thank you so much. Your mama's so stupid. They said it was chilly outside and she brought a bowl. Give a Yo Mama response. My favorite Yo Mama joke is still the she's so fat she sat on a rainbow and Skittles popped out.
Nice.
That's an old one, but it's one of my favorites. Needless to say, they were. This is an ongoing thing. Guy falls out of a trailer and he lands on his shoulders, so we call an ambulance. Okay, so two tiny women come from the truck. They get the stretcher set up, and they get this as they drop him as lift.
They were probably trying to lift him and dropped him.
Okay. Needless to say, he was further hurt and pretty pissed, shouting at these women, so he had to get the fireman and former soldier to put him in the ambulance. Yeah. Look, women are little.
Yeah, you don't have to like it. It's just science.
Yeah, go find something you're good at. Go sew.
Yeah, if you want to help do something that you can physically do, just because you can't physically do it doesn't mean it's oppression.
Yeah, I want to play in the NFL. Not going to happen.
I want to watch other people.
Ableist.
Yeah, well, yeah, ableism. That's such bullshit too. That phrase is enraging. It's so dumb. People are good at different things. Not everybody is designed to be a linebacker. People are dumb.
People are dumb. That's all right. Oh God,
is it
Peppa Pig? And they're actually complaining about a show. That's if it had been one of the guys and like firemen, like, all right, at least you're being consistent. But it's actually a fire pig. Just gave that Yo Mama to Rakita, so one more. Is Rakita doing Yo Mama jokes? Tell him he doesn't know how to snap. Miles, thank you. Hey Monkey, what do you call a Jewish shooter? A pew pew Jew. Oh my God.
Do they go Jew Jew instead of pew pew? I would.
Another of my favorites, if you need one, Your Mama's So Dumb. No, see that one's not as relevant anymore. God, I don't know. It's been a long time since I snapped and ask him if he knows what playing the numbers is, and if he says something about gambling, he's so white. He didn't do a response. Welcome, or women in the fire department almost as annoying as episode 120. What's wrong with 120? Why is that bothering him?
Some people that really bothers their like number OCD.
Oh,
he's probably trying to flick a light switch 3 times so that somebody doesn't die right now.
Hey Glenn, how you doing?
Nothing personal. I'm an asshole to everyone.
That really surprised me that my blow me remark upset him so much.
It sounds like he seems to have been very edgy lately.
Well,
like, he's taking things very personal a lot more.
In fairness, he has mentioned that. He feels like an outsider all around because he'd kind of gone towards what I guess is the dark side over, to the anti-SJW side. And they all see him as a traitor to that. The actual SJWs won't embrace him because he was an anti-SJW. So yeah, he's got no team. And my thing is I don't need a team.
Yeah,
never needed a team.
I don't like joining things. It always ends up going poorly. Mostly because if you let me in, you probably have pretty low standards.
That's not true. I have very high standards.
I know. I don't know. I think I'm the only one awake right now. That's what I suspect.
Really. You know what my standard is, honestly? You have to be interesting or funny, and you're funny.
So not interesting?
Well, you're getting more so lately.
I try.
You've been pretty quiet on one. I don't get to watch comic book curation very often, where I know you talk a lot on there. But like on here, you've mostly been the comic relief guy, and I appreciate that a lot. I like humor. I always have, and they're trying to kill it.
Oh man, they are trying so hard. It's sad. It's they're not even doing anything spectacular like, oh, we're gonna take everything down at once. No, they're just nagging people to death. It's the laziest form of censorship.
Uh, Amy Schumer has a new special out.
Is it called Crotch Smell?
No, I forget what this one's called. But in it, she says that she tells us that her husband is autistic. I haven't watched it. This was a story we read earlier tonight, and that I'm paraphrasing here, but his autistic personality, the things that qualify him as autistic, is what she likes about him. I'm like, so you're attracted to autism?
Oh my god, she's gonna hang out with JF next.
She goes on to explain apparently that it's because autistic people can't lie. Like autistic people can lie.
Yeah, they can lie like normal people.
I think she just likes. I think she's a JF person. She wants to fuck a potato.
Yeah, I mean, I've been around several autistic people, and most of them don't bother me too much. You get used to quirks, that sort of thing. But severely autistic people, I cannot deal with. So she's either married to a very mild autistic person, or she is a weirdo.
Here's the thing: so much has been put on the autistic spectrum that literally everything is autism now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Everything.
10 years ago it was ADHD. Now it's autism.
Yeah.
Some people are just bad at socializing. We've got, especially with the internet now, we've got a lot of people that are just very awkward in social circumstances where they talk face to face with someone. They call that autism now. That is not autism. That is a social awkwardness.
Yeah. Faithless, yes. She did go on to say that he had what the way she puts it is what used to be called Asperger's. I didn't know we got rid of Asperger's. But he has what used to be called Asperger's. And I'm like, I think he just has bad taste in women.
Yeah, there's obviously something wrong with him if he's married to her, because she's gross. She is one of the grossest people I've ever seen.
Oh, she is. I joke about it, but looking at her, I'm just like, no. She's another one that even before she told us what her crotch smells like, that picture of her laying out in the bikini, that just in the blue bikini with the hat on, I think she's wearing a hat. If you guys look at the picture, I'm not going to put it on the screen again, but if you look at it, it's like, that looks like it stinks.
Yeah.
And yeah, so dude. But as for the autism thing, because this is something that needs talked about, the medical community has been doing this lately, and you're right. ADHD was the first one. Everybody who is a little bit different. Oh, he has ADHD. I'm like, no, he doesn't.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. ADHD was a very specific thing. And then in the mid 90s or so, they decided that it was basically any child who acted up was ADHD. Like, no, you don't need to drug your kids to get them to act good. That act right in a bottle is not what they need. They need to learn how to act right.
Well, and one of the secret things they don't mention a lot, but you'll notice, is around that time, the late 80s, early 2000s, most of the people diagnosed with ADHD were boys.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
Boys are hyperactive. And that was the dirtiest, shameful little secret of the therapy world that they didn't like talking about, because they just really didn't like boys acting out. They didn't know how to deal with it. So, boom, you've got a mental illness.
Yeah, I'm so glad. See, I could hug you right now, Jack. I've made that argument before.
I'm adorable.
If you read the list of, they used to put them up in doctors' offices. If your child does these 10 things, they probably have ADHD. I'm like, boys. Oh, you mean if your child's a boy?
Yeah, those filthy penis waggers. Yeah, I was dating a shrink around that time who also happened to be one of my bosses. And don't do that. That's a terrible idea. But she was always saying, yeah, we do diagnose boys more with it because we've diagnosed that boys have ADHD more. So is it because of that or because they're boys? And she says, depends on the therapist.
Exactly.
Therapists are the most messed up people around. Do not trust them.
Well,
unless you have to, that by court order or something.
There are very good reasons for psychology, and more appropriately for psychiatry.
Yeah.
But a lot of what it's used for is social engineering.
Yeah.
And it has been since it became popular. If you go back to the father of modern psychology, the dude was a fucking freak.
Yeah.
And nearly every opinion he had has been shown to just be fucking weird. This is a man who didn't believe that a woman masturbating using only her clit was actually having an orgasm.
Yeah.
Freud was a fucking moron.
Yeah. Freud, who was the guy that did the Kinsey? He was a sex freak.
Kinsey, yes. Oh, yes.
I have a lot. I say don't trust therapists because I've been around a lot of them, and they were all nuts. There were like two normal ones, and so I'm pretty biased in this front. But I do not trust people that have power over other people in such a personal, one-on-one way. It's very, very dangerous and easily abused, especially if they have an agenda, and especially if they don't like your gender. So, I don't know. I guess I'm a little too close to this subject to be.
No, you're not. And here, most people don't want to hear this. Most people, if you tell somebody your kid's not ADHD, they're like, "How dare you?"
Yeah, because mental illness is a point of pride nowadays.
It is,
which is super messed up.
It is that, and you're right, Faithless. Never trust the rapist, which is what therapist is. How you spell therapist is the rapist.
Yep,
and it's pretty spot on. Now there are times talking to a therapist can help you.
Oh, absolutely, especially if they're a good one. But you really have to kind of read the reviews on what you're getting into.
But here's the problem. Most of what we get into with this, I mean, they're working off of the work other doctors are doing. This is the latest in psychology. The latest in psychology, guys, this is factual. No, and I'm using air quotes, medical field or scientific field has been more disproven in recent years, well, since its inception, than psychology. And here's why. It's not because psychology itself is bad. It's because the people who get into it have a fucking agenda.
Yep.
They have an agenda. I don't like this about society. And this is what I think it's doing to society. Oops. I'm going to write myself a wonderful book explaining to people that if you spank your kids, they're going to grow up and be horrible people. By the way, when you stop spanking them, you can just give them drugs. Man, the worst story I ever heard about that, a 4-year-old little girl, man, her parents OD'd her on Ritalin.
Yeah, that's messed up.
They gave a 4-year-old Ritalin, a 4-year-old.
Oh yeah, it's way more common than you think that young children get on drugs. When I was working with children's services, man, that was one of the most eye-opening things ever. Because I was in college at the time, and I would see the most horrific abuse of medication. Kids that were very normal getting put on these powerful drugs, and they'd end up having more complicated issues because the stuff was messing with them during their developmental years.
Steven says, how about no beatings and no drugs? How many kids you got, Steven? Bubba Hotep says, wait, a 4-year-old little girl. They gave her a dose of Ritalin and she didn't calm down, so they gave her another dose and killed her.
Yeah, and those drugs are very powerful. You have to know that the guidelines are there for a reason, and too many people abuse medications anyway. But something like that, a kid that size, any little kid, you got to be real careful with dosing with meds. You're a parent, you know that. But some people, they don't really care, or they don't understand, or they're just dumb.
Steven says he has 120 kids, so none. I got you. Kyler says more beatings. Look, I don't believe that you need to beat children like for the fun of it. I do believe in the old axiom, spare the rod, spoil the child. That does not mean you just have to beat children. I think I spanked my daughter twice her whole life. My son's a bit more because boys do stupid shit. And none of them got spanked. If you took all the spankings they had, multiplied it by 500, it still would not come close to the number of spankings I had as a child. And I deserved every one. I do not know how my mom didn't go insane, man. I'm serious. I look back and I'm like, oh my God. How did this woman put up with me? Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. Went to a shrink in high school and he tried to turn my anger issues into some Oedipus complex, then tried to turn it around to sell a book. Beautiful.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah. You're mad. You must want to bang your mom. Like she's banging everybody else, damn it. No.
Back in like the 60s and maybe the 70s, if a kid was being molested at home and they told their therapist, sometimes the therapist would prescribe sex therapy where the therapist just had sex with them.
Oh, yeah.
It was shockingly okay with the ethics boards. That was an accepted form of therapy back then.
I forget the name of the whole scandal, but the whole thing with repressed memory.
Yeah.
Where doctors were planting memories in people to get parents thrown in prison.
Yeah, there's a great book called The Myth of Repressed Memory, and it talked a lot about these false memories that were implanted under hypnosis. It's a fantastic book, especially if you're... I should really recommend this to Styx, Hex, and Hammer, because it addresses the satanic panic quite well. But it's horrifying what some of these doctors with power get away with.
Yeah.
And a lot of them got away with it. They didn't get any real trouble.
That's why I said there is legitimate, and I say this mainly because me and Polly are friends, and I know he gets hot on this subject. There are very good uses for psychology. Absolutely, there are.
Yeah. It can help a lot of people.
Yes.
But you have to have a good therapist who doesn't have an agenda. You have to check their credentials, see what other clients thought of them, and how they were helped, that sort of thing. There's plenty of review sites online for doctors. So you really have to be cautious about who you're getting to work with when you're dealing with your mental state.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people just grab a name out of the phone book and go with that, but that's not a good way to do it. It's like choosing any other doctor. You don't want Dr. Nick helping you.
Well, the thing is, even a reputable one can turn out to be a shitbag.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to know when it's time to switch to, like, if you're not getting any help or you're more anxious, maybe you should look at another therapist.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to bash on therapy, but I've just seen it so misused over the years.
Me too. And
when my brother killed himself, we had to go to a therapist. And the only thing this therapist was interested in hearing from me is that I would never kill myself. Like,
yeah.
That's the issue here. That's your fucking issue. I mean, yeah, okay. I understand that you want to hear that, but shouldn't we be talking about like how I'm dealing with this?
You would think so.
Yeah, but literally that's all she wanted to hear. And I pissed her off because I refused to say it.
Blame you.
Bash. Look, as I said, I do think there's very legitimate reasons for it. There are a lot of people who do get help from it, but there are a lot of shysters out there. A lot of fucking shysters.
Yeah, I'm just saying, use caution when you go looking for somebody that's going to be affecting your mental stability. That's all.
Oh, God. What else do we have going on in the world? Oh, I don't even know what made me say that today. But I truly do believe that the world would be a much better place if we said stop being a pussy more often. I can't remember what motivated me to that.
People being pussies.
I just want to throw that out there. If somebody's being a pussy, just tell them, hey, stop being a pussy. I think the world would be a better place.
Really would.
Oh, I was listening to Joe Rogan talking with Ron White today.
Oh, but that went well.
It was a decent show, but Ron was drunk as he always is.
What? No.
Well, yeah. Look, I love Ron White. I think he's funny as hell, but the conversation was kind of uh, hard to. I don't want to say hard to follow. It got distracted sometimes because you got the drunk man talking to you there.
Yeah.
Batman, thank you. Back in the 70s, kids who would now be diagnosed with a disorder were just made to learn how to behave correctly. Yes.
Yeah. That's what therapy was. It was for kids. It was teaching them how to adjust in society, and it was
Well,
very productive most of the time.
To his point, I think he's talking more like the ADHD thing where the kid's not acting right. Smack him on the bottom, tell him to sit down. There's a great episode of South Park about this where all the kids get onto Ritalin.
Yeah.
And they get themselves on it on purpose so they don't have to do homework. And there's Chef is like, you don't have to be putting these kids on it. There's a doctor doing great research that I want to tell you all about. And he puts a video in, and 3 kids are acting a fool. And the doctor walks up to the first one and yells at him, and they don't do anything. So he slaps the kid, and suddenly they sit down.
Yeah.
Goes to the second one. That second one's yelling and screaming. So he yells at them, sit down and shut up. And they don't do it. So he slaps them, and he just stands in front of the third one who just sits down.
Yep. That was a corrective tool back in the day.
There has to be some kind. I'm going to blame the women's again. There were absolutely people who took the notion of beating your child way too literally. There are abusers out there. And you know what? Even without corporal punishment being a normal thing in the country, those people still exist.
Oh, yeah.
The problem isn't corporal punishment, it's child abusers. You do need some kind of consequence for bad behavior. And if your consequence for bad behavior is here, take this drug, then you don't learn.
Yeah.
You don't.
You just bury the problem a little bit.
Yeah. So when that same kid who never learned how to be respectful, how to act properly, grows up, then you have a jackass on your hands. And we have a whole nation of them right now. It's the wrong week to stop sniffing glue. It wasn't modeling glue, was it? It was just sniffing glue. Now you're going to make me watch Airplane again, damn you. The Batman bring capital punishment back to school. Jesus. You didn't do your homework. Get in the electric chair. No, I think we've fucked up a whole generation of kids because, yeah, we didn't teach them how to act right. I'm not kidding when I say I would be in jail right now if my mom hadn't spanked my ass. I am a devious kind of person. And like I said, getting spanked will teach you one of two things, either to act properly or not get caught.
Yeah. Sometimes both at the same time.
As it did in my case. Yeah, I don't understand this notion of not teaching children.
Well, it's more work.
Yeah, it is. It's easier just to drug them.
People want the instant fix. They want you to solve the problem immediately. And the therapists want to be able to write a paper or get more kickbacks or whatever their motivation. Sometimes there are motivations to just put kids on drugs. And it's mainly because it's easier.
Bubba Hotep says, I mean, with technology we have nowadays, we could make something that causes just the right amount of pain to teach a lesson. Yeah, get them a little shot collar. If you don't want to do spankings, get them a little shot collar that could never produce more than the desired amount of electricity. And when the little bastard's acting up, zap him.
Yeah, I mean, I generally like dogs more than kids, so I'm not opposed to this.
We need some form of discipline, some form of repercussion, some form of responsibility, and we just don't have it.
No, modern society has decided that nobody's responsible for anything they do. It's always somebody else's fault, or it's some sort of mental illness or whatever the cause. It's you're broken. It's not your fault. And if you don't take responsibility for what you did, you don't grow from it and learn to be better as a citizen in society.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost reverting back to a more primal time when you would follow your base instincts.
Yeah. I'm sorry, just read that in chat. Oh God, now we live in the mirror universe. We're advocating for a Ag, Aganzar booths. I don't know what that is. Aganzar booth. I don't know. Batman. I'm not sure what that reference is. And look, I don't really want to put shot collars on kids. I want kids to get a swat on the butt when they're bad. Don't beat them, just a swat on the butt. What's wrong with that?
Depends how funny it is.
Oh, you know what's wrong with it? That's right. Women got a hold of Dr. Spock's book back in the 70s and everything went to shit. I blame women.
The agony booth that he's referring to is a Star Trek reference.
Oh, okay.
It was a disciplinary device used to board starships.
Gotcha.
I looked it up.
Several people are correcting me. You can spell it all day long. I'm not going to be able to say it. My brain won't read it right.
Yeah, you're not fixing the problem, you guys. Jeez.
Here's a word I want y'all to say. Monkey. That explains it all. I blame Kirk for letting Spock write it. Here's the problem with this. Things like Dr. Spock. You know how many kids Dr. Spock had?
I don't think he had any, did he?
0. And he wrote a book on how to properly raise your children. It's like when some fucking single dude writes a book on marriage. What the fuck? Who the fuck are you? One of my favorite things I ever read, I think it was Yahoo who did it. There was a big write-up on how to have a happy marriage. And they interviewed like 4 or 5 couples. And the one that was married the longest, okay? The longest. This is somebody giving advice on a happy marriage. 9 months.
Yeah, you're disqualified.
Like the longest marriage, 9. You haven't even had an anniversary yet. What the fuck? What the fuck are you like, Stevie Wonder writing a book on colors? Yes. Blue's my favorite. It's yeah. But he said what women wanted to hear, and spanking a child makes you feel bad. You should not feel good spanking your child.
No.
My mom always said that, this is going to hurt me more than you. And as a kid, you're like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
But as a grown-up, you get it. I mean, this is my child. I do not want to cause them pain, but I would prefer to cause my child a little pain now than have to visit them in prison when they're in their 20s.
Yeah, exactly. Or injury because they put their hand on a stove and they didn't learn anything.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the best way, most of the stuff children get in trouble for is just being kids.
Yeah.
But there are times if it's something that's going to harm them, you need to get it through their heads that you can't do that. And I'm sorry, popping a pill isn't how you do that.
No, it's not a long-term solution. You have a long-term problem, and they're giving you a very short-term solution because a lot of times kids will age out of the medication they're given, so they put them on a different med. Eventually, those have real consequences to not only your physical, your general body, but also your mental development, and it can really, excuse the phrase, retard their development.
There's nothing wrong with that phrase. It's one of the reasons I get pissed off when people say you can't say retard. It's like it's actually a scientific term.
Yeah, and I use it both in the medical sense and in the hey, you're retarded sense. So sometimes I gotta clarify. People get very pissy about that for some reason.
And you're right. There's times I have to tell people that I think they are clinically retarded, not just retarded as in you're a retard.
Yeah, because idiot was a different classification, and they were smarter than retards.
Yes, yes.
And morons, well, do we even need to say it?
There's so many things from my childhood that they've made worse because they've gotten into these little arguments. Like, just calling somebody a retard, that's not a horrible thing, but they've made it the most horrible thing ever.
Yeah.
You're
Although,
making like you're making fun of retarded kids. No, I'm not. I'm making fun of that guy because
for
he's
being
acting like
retarded.
he's acting retarded when he's not.
Yeah, I worked with retarded kids. They'd be like, "I'm retarded." Yep, yeah, you are. It's not your fault. You were born that way.
Retarded kids.
The
Look,
best was seeing retarded kids call other people retarded. You're
that is awesome.
retarded.
Yes.
That was the best.
But the whole thing was, if you call them, you're diminishing them. You're making fun of the retarded people. No. It's kind of like when you say that a guy throws like a girl. That's not an insult to the way girls throw. They just throw differently than guys, and guys shouldn't throw like that. It's an insult to the person you're saying it to, not the group you're mentioning.
Yeah, but we've gotten into this feel-good sphere where everything has to make everyone feel special and unique. Because you're a unique and individual snowflake and can't be replaced.
Oh God, I don't want to do climate change right now. We talked about that earlier, and fuck that.
No, hi Magog.
Hey Magog, how you doing, man? Cindy McCain posts strangers vicious message after Trump attack on husband. What? Oh dear God. Cindy McCain on Tuesday revealed a hateful message she received on the same day that President Trump again slammed her late husband, John McCain. The widow shared the vile note on Twitter from a woman who called her a cunt and said she was glad the late Arizona senator was dead. Your husband was a traitorous piece of warmongering shit, and I'm glad he's dead, the person wrote. The woman also compared Cindy McCain, or McCain's daughter, Megan, to Miss Piggy and said, I mean, in fairness.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's wrong.
And said she hopes the View co-host chokes to death. The president revived his long-running feud with McCain, who died more than 6 months ago, over the weekend, accusing him of leaking the so-called dossier alleging ties between Russia and Trump. He also went after McCain for his Obamacare vote. Trump's not the first one to float the idea that McCain was the one who leaked the dossier.
Yeah, that's been around for a while that he may have done that.
He had far worse stains than this, Trump tweeted, including thumbs down on repeal and replace after years of campaigning to repeal and replace. Meghan McCain rebuked Trump for saying her dad's legacy was stained, telling the president, "No one will ever love you the way they loved my father."
Oh, shut up.
Let's be honest here, shall we? People's love of John McCain ebbed and flowed.
Yeah.
The people who came out and loved him so much when he died didn't give too much of a shit about him back in 2008.
Yeah, or he would have been president.
Yeah. These are the same people who, yeah, thank you. You brought up Gooks. Bootylicious. He once called the people who tortured him Gooks.
Yeah, they tortured him.
That's no reason. He should have called them nice Asian folks.
I never would insult the beautiful Vietnamese ladies that way, but I understand why he would say that.
Yeah, he earned that slur. The point being, though, all of these people who loved your dad, many of them right now are loving him because Trump doesn't like him.
Yeah. It's pretty obvious why that's going on. She can't see past it because it is her dad. I get that. But it's not a rational argument.
Jenna Jameson shares before and after shots of her butt as she continues the keto diet.
Gross. Nobody wants to look at your old lady ass.
Sorry, keto, not kilo. That's a different one that other models use.
Well, potato, right? It's porn.
Indeed. We just for science, we're going to take a look at the picture. She's tightened up a bit.
Yeah, much better.
Good for her. I mean, she's looking way too thin if you ask me, but you like them real thin, so. Anyhow.
I like tight women. The sort of women that take care of themselves and don't look like big fat slobs.
Well, she's a little overweight in that first one. She could definitely lose some pounds there. But I also think that dress she was wearing was not flattering.
No.
It is made to hug tight, and she wasn't made to hug tight.
No, you don't wear lines of any kind when you're fat.
I still want to know why they keep calling it the keto diet, and this is the Atkins diet. Is it just because he died and they can't get the right to the names?
Probably.
Because there were a lot of people who hated that diet when it was around. Like, this will kill you. And now everybody's like, oh, this keto diet's the best thing ever. It's making me so thin. Apparently, it makes your genitals stink, guys, but
gross.
No, that's true. We read a story about it the other day.
That's gross.
And this actually was explained in Dr. Atkins' book. Yes, I have read it. And yes, I have been on the diet. And yes, it does work. I just can't stick to a diet like that because you have to get rid of carbs. And I like carbs.
Yeah, carbs are delicious.
Yeah. Carbs taste like happiness.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah, but there's a physiological thing that it does. I don't know. When your body processes just meat and cheese and eggs and stuff, yeah, it tends to make your breath will stink. There's a specific stink your breath can get. There's a stink your body odor can get from it. Yeah. If follow drunken peasants, Billy's kicking pass. I don't know what we're even talking about there. I'm assuming that wasn't directed at me. Moving on with the news here, guys. What else do we have here? Trump backs Fox News host. Oh yeah, Jeanine Pirro. Is that how you say her name? She got taken off the air. She's on a little bit of a timeout for talking shit about, was it Ilhan Omar? President Trump went to bat for Fox News host Jeanine Pirro, who has gotten backlash for her controversial comments about a Muslim House member by calling on the cable network to return her show to the air after it was replaced Saturday. Bring back at Judge Jeanine Pirro. The radical left Democrats, working closely with their beloved partner, the fake news media, is using every trick in the book to silence a majority of our country, Trump wrote. They have all-out campaigns against at Fox News hosts who are doing too well. Fox must stay strong and fight back with vigor. Well, where's her actual tweet? That's what I want to find. I forget what it actually was.
Oh, her dual loyalty.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, because she wears a hijab.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. The whole hijab controversy. Look, she's a strong, independent Muslim woman, and she doesn't want to be beaten, so she wears her hijab.
Well, you got to avoid that honor killing somehow.
You do. That's why you only sleep with your brother. That's not nice.
Did you see Donna Brazile joined Fox?
I did. There was a lot of backlash about this whole Fox thing, and part of it was because of the same time that they kicked Pirro to the curb for a little while. She's only suspended, as far as I know. I don't know that they've come out and said, okay, she's fired yet, but that same day they hired Donna Brazile. For those of you who don't know Donna Brazile, she worked for the Obama White House. She also worked for CNN and fed Hillary Clinton the debate questions before the Sanders debates. Oopsie.
Yeah, I don't think that was a terribly good move on their part.
It's probably a good thing that she's going to work at Fox, because Fox isn't allowed to host any of the debates or even ask questions.
Oh, that's true.
Maybe that's just the only place she could get a job, because everybody else is involved in the debates. Oh, Jessica Simpson's pregnancy picture in pictures. It's not fun to see. She's not an attractive. I like pregnant ladies usually. They have that nice pregnant glow to them.
Depends on the pregnant lady.
Well, that's the thing with Jessica. She looks like Honey Boo Boo's relatives, and rather than looking pregnant, she just looks
gross and fat,
white trash fat.
Yeah,
she looked like she got a big old beer belly.
Yeah, the big sloppy fat. Oh man, that Midwest fat is the most repulsive thing ever.
Hang on, I do want to show you one picture though. And to be honest, there's a few that are nice, and this one is not her fault, y'all, but it is disgusting.
Whoa,
She is retaining some water. That's not even a
some
cankle.
Jesus looks like she's having a heart attack. Like, did your
Yeah,
heart stop? That's not even a cankle. That's just the ankle was eaten by the fat.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not good. And you can kind of see. I mean, she's got lines on her feet, so she was wearing something. Probably trying to keep her feet looking thin. Them fucked up toes, man.
I
God
have fucked
damn.
up toes, so I can't say much. But
Do you
she's a
put
chick.
pictures? Do you put pictures of your toes on Instagram?
Gross. No,
There you
I think
go.
feet are disgusting. So
Most feet are. I mean, but
yeah,
here's the thing: you can have disgusting feet. Look, I'm overweight. I keep myself covered in public.
yeah, like a normal person. Hide your shame.
Exactly. Well, I'm not ashamed of it. I just think somebody might be eating and they don't want to look at that when they eat.
That's true.
Uh,
It's the perfect time to show them your glorious belly, though.
I saw a study the other day. What was it? Was it half of all Americans? I think it was half of all Americans uh, feel shame sometimes when they eat. I'm like, what?
That's one of the few times I don't feel shame.
It does not matter how gluttonous I'm being. I do not feel shame when I eat. I'm like,
Maybe,
fuck you. This is good.
maybe it's how they're eating, like spaghetti flying everywhere and they're making grunting sounds.
Well, look, there are some people I've seen in public who should be ashamed of the way they eat. For fuck's sake, close your mouth when you chew, you dirty bastard.
Yeah, you're not a savage living in a cave. We've grown past Neanderthal times. So let's act like civilized people.
But that's different than what they're eating. And that's what it was. It was about what they were eating because they're eating too much or they're eating things that are bad for them or like,
Yeah. Oh,
what a first world problem.
right?
What a first world problem.
We got a lot of first world problems going on right now.
To me, that encapsulates it, though. I mean, you're talking about if you're ashamed of, don't do it. It's that easy. You have people all across the world who it would be the most thankful day in their life if they could eat that meal you're shaming yourself for. You sick fuck. I really hate that. I hate people who, I mean, look, if you know you shouldn't eat it, then don't eat it. And then I do feel bad about it. Obviously not. You did it.
Yeah. Let me grab a Streamlabs here. Thank you, Prospero. Laundry money. I need to do laundry soon so I can have more videos and clean clothes.
There you go.
Thank you. That's very appreciated.
Man. What time? Oh God, I'm getting so tired.
What? It's not even 4 a.m.
I know, man, and I've only been up since like 6, so not even 10 hours, but I was in bed for like 12 hours, but I was only probably really asleep for about 4 of that.
Oh, that's the worst.
Hey, that's my life, man. It's one of the reasons I don't go to bed unless if I go to bed right after Lady Monkey, she doesn't wake up. But like if I crawl into bed when she's been asleep for 6 hours already, I'll wake her up and then she can't get back to sleep. So I tough it out till she's awake, and then I lay in there for 12 hours, not able to actually fucking sleep. Don't talk about being tired. You're not my real mom.
I do what I want.
I do what I want. Honey Boo Boo's mom, speaking of I do what I want, Honey Boo Boo's mom was just arrested.
Shocker.
Her and her boyfriend got into a fight at a gas station. I'm not making that up, y'all. A fight so bad the police were called.
That's so white trash.
And during the course of events, they discovered drug paraphernalia and drugs on both him and her.
Oh, hold on. Let me get my shocked face on.
Oh, Bubba Hotep says, maybe this will help you wake up. I turned 30 today. Happy birthday, sir. And thank you for the donation on your birthday. I feel like I just got a present on his birthday.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Best birthday ever. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Shabop, shabop.
Happy birthday, dear ex Bubba Hotep.
Birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Shabop, shabop.
Yeah, happy birthday. And I feel bad because I'm going back to talking about Honey Boo Boo's mom. This is the same white trash whore who got famous, not just as a pageant mom, but the pageant mom of a fat, disgusting child who had no kind of upbringing whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then put her whole fat ass, disgusting redneck family on TV to, and look, okay, make your money where you can, but I'm still going to judge you for it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But then after the show was winding down, as the show I think was still going on, they canceled it over this. She got back together with a man who had gone to prison for 10 years for molesting her daughter.
Yep. That's why they canceled the show.
The Batman, thank you. Yes, Ranting Monkey, opinionated Scotsman is your real mom. That's not what Maury said.
The DNA tests never lie.
PayPal is saying your Streamlabs account is restricted. What?
What are you paying with? Because if you don't have it set up for credit cards.
No, mine is only set up through PayPal, and Prospero has donated before.
That's weird.
Well, I was just thinking I haven't had a donation on Streamlabs in quite a while. And somebody the other day was having trouble donating. What the fuck is going on now? I'll have to look into it and see what's going on. But yeah, so as far as Honey Boo Boo's mom is concerned, fuck that bitch. I think she should have went to jail when she hooked up with the man who molested her kid.
Yeah. Yeah, man, what kind of message does that send to your kid? Like, yeah. I don't love you at all.
I love his dick. Never mind. I'm not gonna say the rest of that sentence. What a dirty bitch. Who hooks back up with somebody that molested your child?
Right?
Circus, yeah, that's what it was. Circus says the same thing was telling him Saturday. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on with it. Of course, because it was working too well. Yeah, that's everything's still connected.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
I wonder if I disconnect it and reconnect it, if it'll work.
You could try.
Oh shit! Now it wants me to put my PayPal back in there.
With a credit card, it
just keeps your fucking information. See, this is why I wasn't going to mess with it right now. Because I was like, God damn it, something's going to happen. Okay, let's see.
This is why it pays to be really lazy. Because then you don't have these problems.
Enter my valid. Okay, yes, let's make sure I had the right. Because I have the account, monkey@therantingmonkey.com is my email address. And it has been for a while, but I only use it in certain places, and I can never remember where I used it.
Oh, I have that problem. I have like 5 email accounts, and I can never remember which one I used.
Right, yeah. So, okay, I just reconnected it. Prospero, would you try again just to see if it does the same thing? I'm not trying to force you to give me a donation, but give me a donation. Yeah, hopefully it works. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with it. Me and Streamlabs have a storied history. I've had it for like 2.5 years and only been able to use it for like the last 6 months because it took that long for them to figure out why it wouldn't work for me in the first fucking place.
That's weird.
Contact PayPal. PayPal's not the issue though. Didn't you say Streamlabs was limiting it, right? PayPal is saying Streamlabs account is restricted. Okay. What the fuck?
What was that?
Bastards.
Oh, fucking internet. Your name got put on a list somewhere.
It probably is. I made fun of a fat person or something, and Now
Yeah.
PayPal's like, we can't let him have money.
You're a hateful bigot monster.
He gave an okay sign back in 75. Oh man. Yeah, I don't have any notices or anything. I don't know.
It's hard to say, man. It could be half a dozen different things, all of which
What
are
is
out of your
this?
control.
Hang on, guys. I'm trying something, and then let me know if this works. God damn it! Is this a goddamn tax thing? My
Oh,
tax
maybe.
stuff is. Oh, you sons of bitches! Confirm your U.S. taxpayer status. Things don't appear to be working at the moment. Please try again. I'm trying. Sons of bitches. Ah. Yeah, they found out that I've drank white milk. I've given the okay sign. I've had sex with white women to propagate the race.
Oh, you monster.
Well, it wasn't to propagate the race. I just really liked having sex, and I love my children. It's like, let's make more. But we did have 3 little blonde-haired, blue-eyed kids.
Well, that's it's very Aryan of you.
Yeah. When they eat, as each one popped down, I'm like, I'm gonna end up in a book. Yeah. So PayPal mad they're being set on. Look, PayPal they've somebody told them about my YouTube channel, didn't you? You bastards.
Yeah,
PayPal doesn't like it when you have opinions that they don't agree with.
yeah, that's very terrifying that they can do that.
It's bad enough that they can do it. That banks can do it. That's where it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Look, if you can't get a PayPal account, you can still, get credit cards or uh, debit cards, something to where you can still, buy online, pay your bills online, that kind of. When all you can deal in is cash, and the only way you can cash your check is through like Walmart, because they cash checks there for you, even if you don't have a bank account.
yeah.
That's getting into territory that's like, what the fuck?
I still think this is going to end up in some kind of weird black market thing because this is dangerous territory they're walking in. I don't like that at all. Chase Bank shutting people down for wrong thing, man. That's absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, it's oh man. This is the kind of thing that I do think government needs to get involved in,
Yeah,
because you are
well, it's sort of like when you didn't have to do business with people because they were black. Well, really, what's the difference here? It's just political ideology now. We don't like what they say, so we're going to shut you down completely and unperson you.
Prospero says change it to credit cards again. At least you get donations. I'd prefer not to get doxxed though. And unfortunately, depending on where you live, and apparently where I live, a Streamlabs donation with a credit card will dox you, or will dox the person you're sending it to. I don't know why they started doing that.
That's probably some sort of like anti-drug thing.
Will you try one more time, Prospero? One more time tonight. It does look like my PayPal was limited because my tax information had to be updated, and it's all the same stuff. And I know it's all the same stuff because I went to type in the box and it auto-filled for me. Fucking Jesus Christ. We need you to verify this stuff you've already verified. Suck my balls.
Dude,
Suck my balls.
Some days you can't win for losing, you know?
I'm telling you, these are the things that make me laugh about life, because this is a minor annoyance that this didn't have to happen, but somebody at PayPal is like, let's make everybody verify their shit again. Wait, no, just monkey.
We'll do it randomly. That'll piss off a lot of people.
Yeah, no shit. Oh man. So hopefully that'll get fixed, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with PayPal. PayPal never asked me for tax stuff. Really? Well, do you receive money for services? Because mine is technically, when you're donating to me, you're receiving a service. Hey, thank you so much. PayPal sucks. Hind teat. Thank you so much, Prospero. Apparently, it's working, y'all. And there's my last one I'm going to be able to get because PayPal's going to be like, fuck y'all. And the Batman, thank you. Ranting monkey is a lemur in disguise. Oh, you bastard. How dare you, sir?
Lemurs are adorable.
Lemurs are, but I'm a monkey, goddammit.
You say that, but you may secretly be a lemur.
If I was a lemur, I would tell you.
Do you identify as a lemur?
I identify as a big dick millionaire.
That's what says on my Tinder profile.
It's not necessarily how other people identify me.
Whatever, they're just bigots.
They are bigots. Just because you can't see my tail doesn't mean it's not there, Reno.
You can't see his tail because his giant wang is in the way.
That's right. You just think that's my wang. No, wait. Something like that. Oh, my God. Thank you guys for helping me get the PayPal thing figured out. Fucking assholes. And I was blaming Streamlabs. I feel bad. Streamlabs, I apologize. But PayPal, you can blow me. Let's take a quick look. I have a hashtag over here. It's a MITAM. One we've taken over from One Direction. And I like this. Right at the top is the pictures of Aaron Gray again. That's nice. But I have to sort it by latest so I can see what's been the latest. Hollywood recruits feminist starlets to get naked and fight the patriarchy in stripper movie. Are you kidding? I think this comes from Massive Dynamics. Can I just say, the smartest thing that the patriarchy has done, and I mean this sincerely, is convincing women that the way to fight the patriarchy is to get naked. We're going to show these men who just objectify us as sexual objects that we're our own people by showing them our titties.
Yeah, but it's usually the grossest ones that want to show their titties off because that's why men aren't looking at them.
Well, you're right, but I mean, naked is naked.
I suppose, but sometimes you don't go to certain places because the landscape's pretty hideous. And you go to other places because it's beautiful and you want to see it more often and look at it.
I would look at any landscape if it had a vagina. I might not touch it. I might only look for a moment. But then I would stop. But I'd still want to see it because it has the vagina. I love vagina, man. I'm probably not indiscriminate enough about it, but vagina.
I understand.
Hollywood recruits. Okay, that's the title. It's the same thing we read. Quote, gay, and I cannot stress this enough, rights. A diverse... What? I am confused one line into this fucking article.
It didn't take long.
I'm going to read the title one more time. This is the title. Hollywood recruits feminist starlets to get naked and fight the patriarchy in stripper movie. All right?
Okay.
Fighting the patriarchy in a stripper movie. And it starts with, in big, bold letters, quote, gay, and I cannot stress this enough, rights, end quote. Okay. A diverse female cast is reportedly being assembled for an upcoming movie about a group of former strip club employees who band together to turn the tables on their Wall Street clients. According to a Deadspin article Tuesday, rapper Cardi B will make her feature debut in Hustlers alongside Jennifer Lopez, Julia Stiles, Lily, I don't know, Reinhardt, and Constance Wu, among others. Transgender actress Trace Lissette is reportedly in negotiations to join the film, and she suggested in a tweet Tuesday she may already be on board. So great. there's going to be at least one dick for y'all dick lovers out there. More women. I don't know. Has she had surgery? Maybe there's no dick. I don't know. There's some XY, XX. There's some chromosomes. I can never remember which is which. Lorraine Scafari will write and direct them. It hasn't even been directed or written, and you're hiring people?
That's weird.
How are you going to know how many people to get? I want to see naked Scarlett Johansson on a pogo stick. Thank you, the Batman. I wouldn't be opposed to watching that either.
I'd probably watch that. I don't even like her.
I'm imagining the pogo stick sliding gently between her folds as she bounces. Anyway. How do you know how many people to hire if you haven't written the movie?
They're going to form the movie around the people they hire, most likely, which is always the way to go when writing something.
Sure.
You hire your Burger King Kids Club first, and then you work around it.
Anyway, she'll write and direct the movie, which is inspired by a 2015 New York Magazine article by Jessica Pressler. The drama takes place in New York City after the financial crisis. Deadspin said, shooting will start Friday. Wait. Back up. Real quick, thank you, Pigfucker. I'm sorry, is it Saggy Pigfucker? I know I asked you yesterday. I didn't read the chat when I asked, so I apologize. But thank you, Pigfucker. Unholly weird equals 0 actual women. Unholy plus weird. Unholy plus weird. Jesus, fuck. Don't giggle at me not being able to read. Unholy plus weird equals 0 actual women. Well, there's a couple women. They're just old. I need your help, Jack.
Okay.
You watch. You watch way. I'm gonna give up talking. You watch a lot more movies than I do.
Yeah.
How many good movies are written as they're being filmed?
0. I mean, every now and then, maybe some indie film where you're like, oh, they're trying really hard. Then your standards are nothing. But otherwise, no. Look at that last Men in Black with Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. They started filming before they had the script. That's why the movie was stupid. Well, one reason.
Remember, in that original sentence there, will write and direct the movie. So
yeah.
it hasn't been done yet. And they're starting shooting Friday. I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to work with this dynamic group of women, said Scafaria. We're grateful to have assembled such a powerhouse cast, and I can't wait to start filming at the end of the week. You have Cardi B in there. Look, you can argue that she's powerful in rap, which I would disagree with, but certainly you can make the case she has powerhouse there. But otherwise, all you have her, you don't know if she can act worth a fuck.
Yeah. Well, have you seen Battleship with Rihanna?
No.
Don't. It was a terrible movie. She can't act. She has some potential, but it's clear she didn't have any real acting talent or training before going in. So she's very kind of wooden, and it really hurt the movie. And now they have no script with a bunch of people that you know, some of them are TV actors. Cardi B's like a rapper, whatever, allegedly.
And a former stripper, apparently.
Oh, yay. So, okay, so what are you going to do? Film some scenes of her stripping, doing a routine? Otherwise it's like improv theater, and you're just doing random scenes and trying to stitch them together. This is a terrible idea.
Well, I mean, the idea itself tells you it's terrible. The way they're going about it makes it even worse. Thank you, X-Bubba Hotep. This sounds like a porno, a bad one. I mean,
yeah.
And again, happy birthday. That was him, right?
Yeah.
Fuck, God, I even sang to you, but my brain, man, my fucking brain. Here's the part where the whole gay thing comes in. There's a quote. So you're telling me that Cardi B, J-Lo, and Julia Stiles are teaming up for a movie about strippers getting revenge on the patriarchy. Gay, and I cannot stress this enough. Right? Fuck me. Gays, and I can't stress this enough. Rights. Out magazine exclaimed. What does it have to do with gay rights?
I'm guessing that some evil strip club owner is oppressing them You know, I've heard this plot before, honestly. It sounds like 9 to 5 with Dolly Parton.
Kind of, yeah. I don't get where the gay part comes in.
Well, obviously, somebody is going to have a lesbian scene. Uh, the protagonist is probably a lesbian, and she's being shit on by the man at her strip club because she's gay, and they don't like that or whatever. I don't know. It sounds stupid.
Thank you, Pigfucker. Having a personality is not the same as acting. Yup.
Yeah.
Acting is actually easy, and most people seem to think it's easy and can't do it. They overact. They try too hard.
Yeah.
Thank you, Citron. Sofan insulted me over disagreeing with him over the Gillette commercial. That hypocrite can go fuck himself. He takes you up on the Lords of the Night offer. I'm thinking there's a typo there. If he takes you up on the Lords of the Night offer, because I want to see you tear him a new asshole. Don't go soft on him if he does. Me and Fane are friends. I wouldn't go soft on him. I mean, if we argued, it'd be like when I argue with anyone else. It can be very polite. It can turn a little bit heated. It depends on how the conversation goes. My problem with Fane is one, I disagree with him on the electoral college, and two, he seemed to get a little too sensitive about my comment there, which he seemed to take really, really personal.
Yeah, he's been very sensitive lately. Is he going through menopause or something?
No, like I said earlier, I do think he's having trouble finding a home, and then that he's feeling bashed by all sides. And in fairness, he is bashed by all sides.
Yeah, but you can't take it. I mean, you can have friends and disagree. He just needs to accept that.
Well, I've had this problem before myself, where when you are the odd man out, and something comes up and somebody says something to you, you do take it too personal. You do read into it too much, maybe, or you do read it as, like, you guys know me. If I told you to blow me, I've probably told somebody in the audience to go fuck themselves already tonight. It's not meant as I hope, fuck off. It's not out of anger. It's just me throwing a word out there. It's me being silly. Yeah, banter. Thank you. There it is. It's the bants. It's the fucking bants. I hate that fucking bants thing.
Yeah, I don't like when people turn simple words into slightly more complicated simple words. Nobody knows what the hell you're talking about. Speak fucking English.
Drangula sent this in. CBD jelly beans. Jelly Belly founder launched jelly beans infused with CBD oil. I'm not going to read the whole article. I just find it funny or interesting because they've already sold out of these things.
Of course.
They're not pot jelly beans. It's CBD oil. There's no THC in CBD oil.
Yeah, it's legal in most places.
Yeah, so these people are out there. They're running out to buy these things to the point they've already sold out. And yeah, they're not going to get anything from it. I remember going to the mall on a school trip once. They took us to the mall on a school trip.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a mall in Virginia, at least there used to be, called Waterside. It wasn't the mall most people went to, mainly because it was way the fuck out of town, and Lynn Haven was much closer and a much newer mall. But it was a very nice mall. And yeah, for one school trip, they took us there. And one of the kids there, how old were we? 12 or so at the time. Found a booth that was selling Perrier. He's like, they'll sell it to me. Like, it's water. No, it's alcohol. I'm like, it's really not. But him and a bunch of the kids got together and they pooled their money and they bought some. And then, like, this is gross. Like, it's not alcohol. It's just nasty water. Yeah. Stupid people, man. Fooling their money, right?
Absolutely.
By the way, I've tried CBD oil because it was, recommended. And people, why don't you try that? The one that we tried, I actually really liked. But it didn't do anything for me.
I'd probably just,
Norfolk Mall, Ranting Monkey, that really pretty waste of money place. We're talking 30 years ago, sweetie. It
back
was
when it was a little nicer and newer.
it was beautiful at the time, man. Yeah, it was a nice place to go hang out. Then they ended up didn't they end up building the new baseball stadium close to there? It's
I
been so long since I've been down there.
think that would help. I like going to the mall. I like malls. It's convenient.
You know, we went to the mall. God, it's probably like 5 or 6 years ago now. It was when I was still normal. Um, and we went at Christmas around Christmas time, and we're there, and we're walking, and it was so sad. It was so sad because it was a bustling mall, right? I didn't see any kids. That we spent our days at the mall, man.
We
We were.
also didn't have internet back then,
That's true. That's true.
so we had to go out and do something.
We yeah, we used to chase girls at the mall. Only my brother had the balls to actually talk to him, but we'd follow him all around like little stalkers.
Yeah, yeah, and you do it now, and it's weird and creepy.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean,
There's some dude in his mid-40s following teenage girls around. Oh, that's Jack. We know him.
it's okay. Yeah, I mean, yes, we were either at the beach or the mall, man. Our mall used to be great here, but now it's so diverse and not really safe anymore. Uh, most of the malls I've seen, they run down. They're so beautiful when they open, and then especially now with online shopping and stuff, nobody goes to the mall anymore. You can't make money there.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things that, like, like candle making. It's kind of a novelty now. You don't really need to know how to do it. So going to the mall is kind of the same thing. It's more of a almost nostalgic thing.
Yeah. I can't even remember. They still tend to have the best video game stores,
Yeah.
which is why I go to the mall. And if you live in a small town like I do, if you want it right now, going to the mall and hitting one of their computer shops is the quickest way to find a video card or something that you want. They're going to be expensive as fuck, though.
Yeah, but that's the price you pay for getting it right now because they have it on hand. You don't have to wait for it to be shipped out. It's right there. So if you're impatient like me, then it's worth it. But
Prospero says, yes, 30 years ago, you were a tadpole. I was an adult. I was not a tadpole. I was 12 or 13-ish. And Waterside was beautiful. That's the one I was talking about, was Waterside. What was the other mall? And I don't remember a mall. Were you talking about a different one? What mall was in Norfolk?
by the Norfolk Mall.
I don't remember that. But see, even when we lived in Norfolk, we'd go to the mall, we'd still go back to Lynn Haven, because all you'd have to do is hop on Princess Anne, which I forgot what it was in Norfolk, but it changed to Princess Anne once you hit Virginia Beach. Go down to Lynn Haven Boulevard, hang a left, and you were there. Yeah, really easy to get to. And shit, if somebody had a car where we could get to the mall, that's the one we go to, because that's where all our friends still were. Sucks being a Navy brat.
I haven't been to Virginia in almost 10 years.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been. My wife was back last year, but I, for obvious reasons, couldn't make the trip.
Yeah.
Her and Little Butt went down together.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. My father-in-law is coming up this year. They're doing a tour of Michigan now that I have a nephew who lives in the lower part of the state on one side. My daughter lives in the lower part of the state on the other side. My son lives mid. We live where I'm not telling y'all. So he's doing a week. He's just hitting the whole state.
Yeah, there's worse things to do this time of year. I mean, the weather's getting better. There's some really pretty scenery around Michigan when the weather isn't crap.
Well, he does not like snow, and they came up one year. I think it was for Halloween, and it actually snowed.
Ugh.
And so now he'll only come up in the summertime.
I don't blame him.
Well, he's coming up in May, and I hate to be the one telling him. The latest I've seen it snow here in Michigan was on June 10th. And I remember that date very specifically because it's my youngest son's birthday. Now, it didn't stick to the ground or anything, but it fucking snowed in June.
Yeah, that's enraging. We had that once like 10 years ago here in Ohio, and I was like, "Are you serious? Fuck you, Ohio."
You know, that's probably around the time it happened here.
Yeah.
Unusually cold summer, and then it turned, normal summer. But man, I fucking hate this state. I want to go somewhere where there's 4 seasons. I would settle for 3 seasons. I don't really need winter.
Yeah. Um I I've been thinking a lot about moving out of the state to for work reasons, but because I hate the winters in Ohio. They're awful.
Hmm.
And I'm sick of it. Can't stand it. I can't even imagine what you deal with in Michigan. I've been in Michigan plenty of times in the winter and I hate it with a burning passion. Like my blood pressure just goes up crossing the border.
Mm.
Partly because of Detroit, but
Detroit's a shithole.
yeah.
And when it snows, it's a snowy shithole. Faithless says, I loved Arizona. I tried for a long time to get Lady Monkey to move to Arizona. And I almost had her convinced. This is a true story. I almost had her convinced. And then she watched a Discovery Channel or some channel like that documentary on the deadliest spiders in America. And like 8 of them live in Arizona.
Yep.
And she's like, we're not moving there. I'm like, God damn it.
Have you looked at moving back to like Virginia or West Virginia or Tennessee or something?
We've talked about it a lot, but especially now that the kids are older and the grandkids, we don't want to move that far from them.
Uh,
Uh, we had to do it when the kids were still young, and we never did it. Damn it! But if we move, we're actually looking to we'll be moving south, but not enough for it to be south. It'll still be in
yeah,
Michigan. We're looking at kind of triangulating between all the children.
that's cool. Well, good luck with that. It sounds awful.
It does. Look, I don't leave the fucking house. It don't matter to me. My If we ever move, my only 2 criteria are we actually get a ranch style home this time,
Yeah.
and it has better internet.
Yeah. You'll probably want to get somewhere near a slightly larger community for that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to, which I don't really want to do. I grew up in the city and I loved it, but now it's like I don't want to deal with that shit.
Yeah. The older you get, the less you like the city. Uh, I grew up near a shithole city, so I fully understand what you're saying. And it sucked all the time.
Well, I loved it. There was so much to do when we moved here. If you wanted anything on a Sunday, you were fucked, man. The town I live in, it actually closed down at 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
Everything.
I grew up in an area like that. But that was the nice thing about moving to Columbus was that there was a lot of options.
Mhm.
But again, you're still in Ohio, so not everything's open real late. But I was lucky enough to have a couple restaurants near me that were 24 hours. So
When we moved here, there was one gas station that was open 24 hours. One.
damn.
We didn't have a Walmart that was open 24 hours. Yeah, it sucked. And we were moving from Virginia Beach, where you could go out, do anything pretty much any hour of the day. McDonald's open 24 hours. And we moved up here. Lady Monkey was pregnant, and she'd get cravings in the middle of the night, and like, I don't know what to do.
You're gonna have to live with it, honey. Go back to sleep.
No, actually, I found this recipe she really liked, so I ended up making that for her a lot. And the gas station luckily did sell some ice cream because she really did want some ice cream back then. Not pickles and ice cream, the old wives' tale, but yeah. Virginia Beach does have everything. It does. That's the beauty of a military town, man.
Yeah.
Or it's actually a military suburb because Norfolk is a military town. But Virginia Beach smells better. They don't have the gas smell from all the ships, which, by the way, you only get if you go down to the shipyard. But still,
It's the principle that matter.
it's the principle exactly. Yeah, I do miss warmer climates though.
Yeah.
The only time I want snow is on Christmas. I like snow at Christmas because it makes it just feel better.
I want to see pictures of snow on Christmas. That's the closest I want to get. I've had enough.
I love it. No, I like it. I like everybody, in sitting in a nice warm house where you can see the snow outside. And then the next day, I want it gone and I want it to be 90 degrees.
I'll settle for 70 year round. I'm okay with that.
Prospero says Oceana's in Virginia Beach. I understand that. Sewell's Point's in Virginia Beach, which isn't a base. It's not a shipyard. But let's be honest. Norfolk is where the Navy moved in. You know what I meant. Snow is a great rapper and Informer is an excellent song. Yes.
Yeah, but he was Canadian.
That right there means he was white. He was a white Canadian. He can't even be a great rapper. He was an okay singer. Ranch style home, better internet, and don't forget the ramp no state. Thank you, Geodes, over on the Streamlabs. I don't need ramps. I'm not in a wheelchair. I just need flat. When we bought this house, I told Lady Monkey I want a one-story house, and we bought a one-story house. Technically, in reality, it's a two-story home that they use the walkout basement excuse to get better taxes on.
That's kind of genius.
It is. And if I wasn't crippled, I would still love it. But as a cripple, I hate it.
Yeah. Well, I hope you find something that works better for you, because it sounds like stairs have become your arch nemesis.
They are. I don't fall down them that often if you consider how often I do go up and down. But it's that worry that you're going to fall. And then when it finally happens, you're like, this, I fucking hate it.
Well, dude, you could seriously hurt yourself and not even know it.
Well, yeah, that's another thing. I'm fairly certain I've hurt myself. My worry is I'm going to break something and not really know it.
Yeah.
Because guys, the medicine I'm on, it's not a pain medicine. It is a you can't feel anything medicine, and it blocks the signals getting to your brain, so you don't feel it. So there's a lot of pains that you ever do that thing, you cut yourself and you don't realize it till you see the blood.
Yeah.
I've had some pretty nasty things that I haven't seen till I've noticed. Oh, that's not right.
That's not good, man.
That shouldn't be happening. All right, Jack, we're going to talk for a couple more minutes. I'm going to finish this second, and then we're going to wrap it up.
Cool.
I'm going to go play a video game till Lady Monkey wakes up, and then I'm going to say something on the internet to piss people off while I sleep. Oh, no, that was yesterday.
Well, you got to double up and make it better this time. Piss off more than a couple people. Go big.
I do just want to address something there again. One of the things Fane was upset about was that people were reading too much into what he said. And I don't doubt that happened. But my comment perfectly fits with what was said and doesn't fit when it comes if you start reading too much into what I said. That's the problem there. My post answered directly what I was talking about. And I get that a lot. Like, why are you talking about? I say what I want to say. I'm actually a pretty smart guy. I might trip over words sometimes when I'm reading, but I have a pretty good way with saying what I want to say. Don't read into it. Just read what I said. Borderlands, I don't know. I'm a little burned out on Borderlands right now. I played a lot. I'll probably go play some more Tropico, the beta. That game's coming out at the end of the month, and I cannot wait. The Borderlands is a great game, and if you guys haven't played Borderlands 2, definitely play it. But I've done the same missions over and over, and I'm not one of those people who can do it a bajillion times. Like the people who played Diablo for like 10 years, Diablo 2 specifically for like 10 years straight. I can't do it. I'll play for a little bit and I'll stop, and I'll go play for a little more and then stop. So yeah, I'll probably jump into the beta for Tropico because I love that game.
I've heard it's good.
It's silly. It's a city building game that's silly. You're a dictator of a small tropical island, you're basically Castro. But you don't have to be Castro. I mean, you can set it up as a democratic republic if you want. But there's lots. One of the main goals of the game is to stash as much money in your Swiss bank account as you can. It's awesome. But yeah, I can't wait for that one to come out. 5 was a disappointment because the only difference between 4 and 5, and this is almost legitimately, literally true, is that when they released 5, they took a whole bunch of the stuff out of 4 and made that DLC.
Oh, that's weak.
That's a dick move. You can be Pinochet. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Helicoptering commies for fun and profit. You can't actually helicopter anybody, but in several of the games, you got to pick which dictator you were, and yeah, you could be all kinds of horrible people.
That's funny. No wonder people complain about it.
That's a great game, though. That 5 was just a disappointment. In 6, they gave it to somebody else to develop this time, and it looks like they went back to not shitting on their fans for profit.
Well, hopefully that works out because they need more not shitting on their fans.
Well, there's ways to do DLC, and there's ways not to.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with DLC. I mean, the biggest problem to me with DLC is that they charge way too much for giving you nothing. Like $10 for this new uniform you can wear in game. Like, go fuck yourself. But when you could play with Tropico specifically, when you could still play 4, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the game. The graphics are pretty much identical. You might get a new storyline because they do have story missions in it. But otherwise, buying 5, the only thing you were doing was buying the chance to buy access to stuff you already have in 4.
that's dumb.
Bought horse armor confirmed. Did I ever buy horse armor? Well, technically, yes. In Oblivion's DLC, they had the horse armor one. So yeah, I might have. Have you heard about the UK journalist being investigated by the police for hate crimes for misgendering someone? No.
Oh, fuck's
But
sake.
Tailed, I'm not surprised. The UK is fucked up, man. It's what I think social justice warriors, that's their utopia. It's what the UK has turned into. Look, we're Democrat. We have a democratic system, but we're actually ruled by these fuckers over here. And I want to say Sierra. That's not right.
Merkel?
Well, where's the seat of the UK or the EU?
Isn't that somewhere
Brussels.
in Germany? Brussels.
Yeah. So yeah, they get to call themselves Democrats. They're actually run by this dictatorial fascist group that is secretly building a military, and you can be thrown in jail for offending people. It's like it's their utopia.
Yeah,
yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
If you had said this 10 years ago, people think you're describing the plot for V for Vendetta.
Mm-hmm. But no, it's the UK. And yes, now they have to buy porn licenses.
That's so weird. I honestly feel bad for all of you in the UK. It sounds like it's just getting worse and worse with this nonsense.
And here's the bad part about it. And this is why I tell you guys so often, the most important civil right we have, the most important right we have is the right to free speech. Because with all of this stupid shit, if you're not allowed to speak against it, there's no way to stop it.
Yep.
These are bad ideas. And yeah, it's just going to get worse and worse. And it seems like it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, it seems like they go a little bit further every year. It's slow drips and drabs. They wait for an excuse and then slowly curtail things. I don't know, man. I worry that it's going to be really fascist very soon over there. More than it already is, but I'd hate to see civil unrest over there over it.
Well, it's coming, and it's look at what's happening in France right now.
Yeah, I mean, look how nobody's talking about the yellow vests, and that one girl lost her eye.
Yeah,
that was messed up. But that's another thing. We have guns here. That's going to be a little bit harder to do here.
Tailed says porn license doesn't come into effect until April 1st, so I hope it's an April 1st joke. I hope it is too, dude. But you guys are you're gonna be able to tell who needs their porn license as they're walking in. I think it's gonna scare children.
Yeah, and considering how humor's been banned, pretty sure April 1st is not going to be funny anymore.
And yeah, with that, guys, we are gonna wrap this up. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us tonight and listening to us chat. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it. Thanks for the donations and helping me get my Streamlabs fixed, guys. Sorry that was a pain in the ass. This is one of those times like fix your shit. But it was actually those bastards at PayPal. Prospero, thank you. Hey, y'all monkeys, Streamlabs works. Keep this man off the stairs. Buy him Lunchables. Thank you so much. But Jack, anything you'd like to shill tonight?
I'll be on Polydub's channel tonight for comic book curation. Probably closer to 11.
All right. I will be on my channel tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time for Lords of the Night. Then we'll be on 2 Cents Plus for the open server. We're not sure how much longer we're doing that, guys. So if you want to get in on that, get in on it tonight. Come hang out. Goodness gracious. Come hang out. I'm sorry, I'm over here hiccuping and oh my God. I think I'm better. If you want to get in on that, come hang out tonight. Otherwise, come out and watch. It's just a lot of fun. Jack, thank you so much for joining me. Chad, thanks for hanging out. I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.